Been a while, but we've got the chance to see some volcanic action. Heroes leap back into action. Oh, and more of our YCS competitors. Make sure you guys smash the and crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. You know what? I'm happy to see some volcanic love out here. You know, this deck, I understand, yes, you are playing Snake Eyes cards in this, but let's call it what it is. You're massively a fire deck. Alright, we can't play ignorance to that. And then to top things off, I mean, you're using the Horus package to be that facilitator of everything that you kind of want to be seeing. Like, you know, also extra free burn damage. I really wish we were playing the current eye in case, you know, we could do some extra little cheese. It's one of the things I love about these fire decks is, you know, you have all of these little things that you can kind of throw in here and actually have this work out for you. So, how does this end up working out? Well, you have all of your link building package material stuff here to get to the, you know, the key end of things, which you typically ends up being the Appaloosa, or if you know, you need to go down the OTK line, this Raging Phoenix / Atlantis. But that's your main extenders. The rest of this is going to be, you know, putting the Volcanic Emperor on the field, using that clutch burn damage to kind of, you know, trying to win the game. And then your Horus package facilitates discard outlets to dump these bad cards so that you can, you know, continue on along with your day into something like the Zombie Vampire. And congratulations, you've got the melding pot of what we're going to call the perfect strategy out here for Volcanics. Obviously, you can strip this stuff out, but losing these cards, you know, and the Diabell Star stuff just takes away an entire level of consistency that this deck would rather keep in, you know, in mind for wanting to play. So, yeah, it's unfortunate the current state of Volcanics is kind of forced into playing the Snake Eyes stuff, but it's what happens when, you know, you have level 1 synergy written all over your deck for, you know, OSS. Good stuff. Now this was kind of cool to see. In terms of the current state of heroes, now you got two variations and two different camps for builds out here for the hero stuff. You have people that are testing out the Fiendsmith stuff, which is going to be very, very, very expensive, by the way. Don't think that, you know, everybody's playing Fiendsmith hero. It is a cool idea. It does allow you some, you know, a little extra consistency, but the average duelist can't afford that. So basically, that means you're forced to rely on Forest to kind of be the piece, kind of keep the deck running. I know, it's a little bit rough. Now, this version of the deck ended up playing board breaker stuff to ensure that, hey, you know, we can actually play the game. Because these current end boards that these decks are ending on are some of the most concerning and most powerful bullshit that I think we've had the chance to really see out here. And it really, 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 really is rough to try to compensate and play through these boards. So it's kind of something to think about out here is, you know, you're going to want board breakers to ensure that you even stand a ghost of a chance in today's meta. Still doing the one-of polymerization in this, which I think is fine. You are playing the one Wing Karibo level 6 in here. I do kind of feel like this is DLC. Like, you can play without the Wing Karibo, but I think it does actually help out some of the little combo lines. Everything down here in the extra deck feels pretty incredibly strong. This deck is just kind of turned into Dark Law or Bust. And it's kind of a shame to actually see it be reduced to this, but this is unfortunately just the only thing you can really do right now to kind of keep up with the course of the meta. You have to play good cards, and if not, well, you're just going to be in a really bad position. But hey, at least heroes can go second now. I think that's a pretty big W. Alrighty, Memento. Oh, wait. So, thoughts on the Fiendsmith package in this deck? I think the Fiendsmith stuff is a cute little consistency upgrade for you where you can try to fit it in. The Memento definitely does have room for fitting in some of the extra little fat, as we're going to call it. Also, a lot of the combo M boards I've seen for this will typically make like the SP as their M board, but instead, you know, when you get to that point of making the SP, you could just make the Underworld or the Moon of the Closed Heaven here, and then, you know, instead of having that SP, you're now bridging in to the full Fiendsmith combo here to get you those extra lines of play to keep on going. I like that. I think that's a cool idea. Now, does it work out? You know, what if you've already got the Memento core and you don't want to spend, you know, another $300 in engravers? You don't have to play this package. All right. This just so happens out of the WCQ this past weekend, the most successful build just happened to be the one that was playing, you know, the engravers and stuff to kind of have the little extension so that they can keep on going. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. All right. You've got a lot of things that you can do in terms of the deck build for this, at least in terms of packages. And the ceiling for this deck personally feels limitless some days. I think that's the thing I like most about this is, you know, you have all these different, you know, combo extension places that you can go, all of these different lines of play that you can do. If your opponent doesn't know where your choke point is in this deck, especially with the Fiendsmith stuff being included in here, you just open up a whole new world of combo potential for you to be able to do. So, interesting stuff, I will say. But outside of that, yeah, interesting, good stuff for what you can be doing here. Okay. Johnny's Mr. Asian Persuasion's Runic list. Now, interesting things about this. The recent rise of dimensional fissure inclusion in the decks. This is just acting as another floodgate right now. You do need to have as many options present for you to be able to punish your opponent. And I think that dimensional fissure is there to facilitate that. Also, playing the Scrubbed Raid over something like the Messenger apiece, you're going to have arguments with Scrubbed Raid inclusions all day long versus other floodgates. This just facilitates getting rid of the extra floodgates that you probably don't need up and running at the time, just to make sure, you know, you can get a battle phase ended and move on along. All right. And also, it just gives you uses to get rid of, you know, whatever deck card you have. Maybe you need to get rid of a Freezing Curses on your field, clean up a slot. Like, that's the purpose of this card, is to facilitate those cleanups. The Organism, I'm happy to see that Johnny did find a way to get the second in here. Cutting the Evenlies was not a bad idea. I'm not a super big fan of that. I do still like the Curse Seal of Forbidden Spells. I think Curse Seal is a pretty free card. Also, you know, taking the deck to 41 is fine. The Double Pot of Desires is good. The only reason why I am not in love with the 2 Desires is I'm so sick of just drawing desires into desires. Like, it is so crazy the amount of times you're just like, oh, you know, you need to draw for turn. You're like, oh, I got 12 cards in deck. Ah, yes, the Desires, my favorite. Variance is not my friend. Also, shout out to the Unending Nightmares in here. I do like this, especially in a larger tournament where, you know, you're going to run into those Runic Stun cards. I think that this was a pretty decent decision to actually have. So outside of that, good deck choices. I'm very happy to see current innovation with this. And our last list here is take your pick of Gimmick Puppet shenanigans. There have been so many Gimmick Puppet ideas that you can actually play out here and have success with. You gotta pick your poison. Only one Scissor Arms, a little bit interesting to see. See, they actually opted for the Terror Babies, which is fine. Actually showcasing your triple card crossout designator here. You know, being able to blank that specific name so you can do your thing is very strong. But they also actually opted for triple Regulus here. This is not something that I feel like I get to see at all. Actually having an Omni Negate present for whatever board that you're trying to push down, actually, I think wins you some pretty free matchups out here. A lot of people are going to look at this and they're going to go, huh, do you really need Regulus? Honestly, this is the first build I've seen actually attempting to play the Regulus stuff for the negate, so that's kind of interesting. Only one copy of the Argent Chaos Force, which I think is fine. Every hand trap underneath the literal sun here is jam-packed into this deck as a one-of, literally. If they draw it, okay, well, we're good to go. I really wish we got a chance to see the side deck. I would have loved to have seen the ideas here. I also see they're playing Numeron Force here as well. Okay, we're doing some cute little things. I guess just to get to this little guy here, just to see what we can actually do. But, all right, interesting to say the least. All right, well, what do you guys think about these decks? Please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.